Ungoverned of all is the captain's crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Also on X. We're having a good time this morning. Happy Friday. May the 9th be with you. Yes. No, it's not still Star Wars Day. I'm only joking. We'll be doing calls second half of the show. Let us know where you're watching from in the live chat. Was that? Every day is Star Wars Day, as Brennan said. You see that? Every day is Star Wars Day. I don't make the rules. That's not my rule. That's her rule. There it is. Say boom. All right, everybody, happy Friday. We will be getting to your calls. We're going to talk about Donald Trump one-upping the swamp yesterday. Look, I hate being right about the Ed Martin thing. I mean, how long have we been talking about it here? What, about over a month, right? That we got to get Ed Martin confirmed. We got to get him confirmed. We got to levy pressure. And I'm not saying that we didn't do enough. I don't know if there was anything that was going to stop Thom Tillis from doing what Thom Tillis did. And the reason why, the reason why I was really hard on our own side after Wisconsin, right, after we lost in Wisconsin, is because I think arguably in Wisconsin we didn't do enough. I think in the case of Ed Martin, there was going to be nothing that was going to change Thom Tillis' mind, and I'll explain why, right? I mean, it's obviously, it is painfully clear that no matter how many phone calls, no matter how many tweets, no matter how many text messages, no matter how many emails, no matter how many letters that Republican voters had sent or were going to send or were sending to Thom Tillis, he wasn't going to change his mind. Thom Tillis is a picture-perfect example of a self-serving public servant, right? And that, if that sounds like an oxymoron, it is. You can't serve the public and then not listen to the public. And the reason why I think Thom Tillis has no regard for what the public wants is because when they asked him, why are you opposing Ed Martin's, confirmation or nomination, it wasn't, well, my constituents said, I don't think this will help the citizens of North Carolina. Well, my constituents voiced concerns. It was, I can't see somebody like that with a position on January 6th being in D.C. I do not believe it's appropriate. I would confirm him for any other position, but I cannot confirm him for this. It's not about you. It's about the people who elected you. And I know for a fact the people who elected Thom Tillis are fed up this morning over what he did to Ed Martin. And they should be. I didn't vote for Thom Tillis. I can't vote for Thom Tillis. I'm not a resident of North Carolina. If you voted for Thom Tillis because he's not the Democrat, you did the right thing, arguably. You did the right thing. Now it's time to do the right thing again if you're in North Carolina, right? Because what Thom Tillis did yesterday, officially, was he did the bidding. He chose to do the bidding of himself. He chose to do the bidding of Adam Schiff before doing your bidding. His job is not to do what is in the best interest of Adam Schiff and Thom Tillis in that position. His job is to do what you tell him is in your best interest. He is a public servant, but he doesn't serve the public. He chose Adam Schiff over North Carolina. He chose Thom Tillis over his constituents. He does not deserve to retain his job. He does not deserve to retain his job. As of today, I think there's only one other candidate who is publicly in the race against Thom Tillis. Seems like a nice guy. His name is Don Brown. I may try and work out a way to get him on the show. We're not going to endorse anybody. But we need to mount a serious, not a slapstick thing, a serious primary challenge to Thom Tillis. And I don't want 90 people in the race because then he's going to win. It is time for the grassroots in North Carolina to find somebody, rally around that person. And yes, it's going to take a lot of money to get the attention of a guy like Donald Trump, to get the endorsement on the right side of that election, on the right side of that primary. You don't want Donald Trump to make an endorsement of Thom Tillis like he had to do for Lindsey Graham because there's just not a serious candidate in South Carolina. It is time for Thom Tillis's reign and tenure as a United States Senator to come to an end. 2026, he's up for re-election. Primary season, stay involved. Get involved. Start getting involved now. If Don Brown is your guy, make him your guy. Get behind him. If he's not your guy, I don't know if he's the person that I would pick. I don't live in North Carolina. He seems like a nice guy. I watched a few of his videos yesterday saying the right things. But Thom Tillis is a self-serving public servant. If it sounds like an oxymoron, that's because it is. But it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Ed Martin's not going anywhere. He's still going to be a member of the administration. That's why today it looks like Donald Trump has one-upped the swamp, given the circumstances. Given the circumstances. In a perfect world, Ed Martin would be the U.S. attorney out of D.C. And Thom Tillis wouldn't have pulled that crap yesterday. In a perfect world. But the world's not perfect. So we have to adjust. And the adjustment that Donald Trump made, what I believe was a pretty bold move. Ed Martin is going to be tasked with investigating the weaponization of government, and hopefully he can hand over the findings of his investigations to a prosecutor who's worth a damn. The 120-day clock now has been reset, so Boasberg is not 11 days away from making that pick anymore. The 120-day clock has been reset, and Judge Jeanine Pirro is the new nominee for D.C. U.S. Attorney. Is she Ed Martin? Do I trust her as much as I trust Ed Martin? I don't. Are there worse picks? I think there are. Are there better picks? There may be. Mike Davis might have been a nice pick to put in there. Maybe he wasn't interested. But I'm willing to see this one through. And I think if Jeanine Pirro gets a stack of evidence given to her by an Ed Martin or the group that he's going to be working with that can lead to an indictment, I believe she'd pursue it. But North Carolina, it is time to address your Thom Tillis problem. It is time to address that problem. And that time is now. He's up for re-election in 26. It's time to get involved in those primaries. Whatever help you need, you want me to share videos, interview candidates, let me know. Ungoverned@gmail.com. You know anybody running? And I mean a serious candidate, right? And when I say serious, I mean there's a campaign. There's a vision. There is some sort of fundraising, right? I don't want to sound like mean, but some people think they're running for office and they're not really running for office. Jackie knows what I'm talking about with the 3%ers or the 8%ers on Long Island. 3%ers are a group. The 8%ers, right? This guy was running in the Cornicelli Garbarino thing, and he had a bunch of lunatics who thought he was the answer. This guy was never serious. We need a serious America First, MAGA candidate that can unseat Thom Tillis. Think Liz Cheney and Harriet Hageman. The reason Harriet Hageman was able to win that primary 66-33 is because she wasn't having her vote split by a bunch of people who didn't have a chance at winning. They coalesced behind a phenomenal candidate out there in the Hageman-Cheney primary in 2022. The same thing can and must happen in North Carolina in 2026. All right. We got that. That was on my mind all day. and that's where we're going to start today. We'll talk about Ed Martin. We'll talk about Judge Jeanine. We'll talk about the details of the U.S.-UK trade deal, and Kristi Noem got into a little bit of a spat with Senator Van Hollen from Maryland, who is going down on the going down with the ship, the SS Maryland Man. So we will get to that and your calls, second half of the show, 631-527-4545. Before we get to all that, I want to get to a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. There's 2 days left to take advantage of the OFP Farms Mother's Day sale. The sale ends on Sunday, the 11th. 2 days left until Mother's Day. Don't miss out. Take a look at this quick. It's a cute video. Everyone loves this video from OFP Farms. The goats and all of the wonderful products being advertised. So take a look. I'll show you the Mother's Day gift box. And on Monday, we'll open the Mother's Day gift box. But I'm not showing you what's inside it until after your chance comes to order it. All right? You want to know what's inside it? What?
I already took the stuff out.
Well, she already took the stuff. Brennan took the stuff out just to make sure we don't slip up. But here's a quick word from our friends over at OFP Farms. OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN. As Mary I Am says, get your mom a goat for Mother's Day. That's right. You know what my mom would do if I sent a goat to that house? She'd have a fit. I don't think she would love a goat. But there may be moms out there who do want a goat. And you can get her a real goat, or you can go to OFP Farms and get her one of these little stuffed goats, right? This is a cute one. Which one is this one now? This is Margaret. This is I don't really care, Margaret. We care about this Margaret. And this one is, I think this is Jackie, right? Is this Jackie? Let's see. Yes. Where's Jackie? Here she is. I'm going to sniff. Jackie smells pretty good. All right. Folks, OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN for 20% off of the Mother's Day gift box, which is this bad boy right here. See? Now, we're not going inside of it. Brennan did take the stuff out, so I can't even show you what was in it.
Sorry,
but it's
how
okay.
am I supposed to leave
It
it?
is, yeah. That's the whole point. Is you can't leave it. You know, it's just such good stuff. OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN for 20% off of the Mother's Day gift box. That is OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN. OFP Oscar Foxtrot Papa Farms.com, promo code Sean SHAWN. It's right there on your screen, right? You can screenshot that. 20% off sale ends on Sunday. OFPFarms.com, promo code Sean for 20% off. Okay. Gina gets goats for Christmas. Uh-oh. Gina doesn't need any more goats. She got like a whole.
But then she won't have to mow anymore.
She has a wildlife sanctuary. Foxes, cats, raccoons, Cora, toads, you know, all sorts of animals over there. She's got the whole thing going on. Everything going on out there. All right, let's get to this. Donald Trump won up the swamp. So what exactly happened? Joe Spag in the chat says, I got one of those goats for my granddaughter. They are both so adorable together. That's cute. That's awesome. So Joe Spag got one of these guys right here. Margaret or Jackie. I think we also have Cleo. Cleo is around here somewhere. There are so many stuffed animals. I have 3 Mo's. I got Santa Mo. I got regular Mo. Maga Mo's over there. We got 2 stuffed goats, 3 stuffed goats. There are animals, stuffed animals all around. All right, you know the deal. 1,000 likes today, and you get to see Clover. 700, you get Mo. 800, you get Maga Mo. So we could start making that happen. Here we go. Let's get into it. Ed Martin. What do you got? No, that's Cleo. Let me see. Here comes Cleo. Cleo is on. Yeah, this is Cleo. So here's another go. There's just so many animals. Animals all over the place. It's great. All right, let's get into this. Donald Trump won up the swamp. And promoted Ed Martin to a new role, or reassigned him, moved him. The nomination wasn't going to happen thanks to hapless Thom Tillis. So Donald Trump moves Ed Martin into a new position in the administration to investigate the weaponization of the Biden regime. Now, for those of you who don't know Ed Martin's background, he has a very in-depth, very storied background when it comes to defending January 6th defendants. He was on the board of the Patriot Freedom Project, our good friends over there, Cynthia Hughes and everybody. As a matter of fact, in one of the videos, I believe the video that Brennan took of me meeting Donald Trump, you could see Ed Martin cracking up in the background. So he's been there, and he's a great guy, and this is a great position for him to be appointed to. Former interim U.S. Attorney Ed Martin has been appointed to 3 key roles at the Department of Justice. Lots of hats that this man is going to wear. He will oversee investigations into alleged political weaponization under the Biden administration. Donald Trump said the following on Truth Social. Ed Martin has done an amazing job as interim U.S. Attorney and will be moving to the Department of Justice as the new director of the Weaponization Working Group, Associate Deputy Attorney General, and Pardon Attorney. That's very important that he's going to be in the role of Pardon Attorney. Trump posted this to his Truth Social. In these highly important roles, Ed will make sure we finally investigate the weaponization of government under the Biden regime and provide much-needed justice for its victims. Congratulations, Ed. Now, one person I believe who is pretty excited about this is a friend of our show, the great Kelly Walker, because, as you know, government was weaponized against him. Government was weaponized against many concerned parents who got in trouble for simply standing up for their right to play a role in their child's education. Look at this. TBS 1959 says Friday mornings with Farish, first in Philly, then Rumble. Appreciate you coming over. Appreciate that so much. It's not just J6 when you look at the weaponization of government against citizens on behalf of the Biden regime, right? It's not just J6. You had people being placed on no-fly lists. You had parents being declared domestic terrorists. You had Catholics who were having their, churches infiltrated by the FBI. You had pro-life protesters who were being thrown in jail or slapped with indictments for protesting outside of abortion clinics peacefully. You had Douglas Mackey, who is currently, he still has a case that they want to throw him in jail over the meme that he posted regarding the 2016 election. You had Rittenhouse. You had Daniel Penny. You've had so many of these people. Donald Trump, obviously had his life upended by a weaponized government. Associates and lawyers of Donald Trump had their lives upended. You had podcasters and media figures had their lives upended by the weaponized Biden government and weaponized Biden DOJ. And that is what Ed Martin now is going to be tasked with weeding out. Look, you thought you were going to get rid of him. No. You didn't get rid of him. You moved him. What happened is he moved into a brand new position. He moved into a position now where he can focus and specialize, kind of hone in on what he already knows took place, right? This is what's very important. Ed Martin is already very familiar with how the government was weaponized against everyday Americans. It was Ed Martin's work on several J6 cases that led to A.J. Fisher and the Fisher versus the United States case that went all the way up to the Supreme Court that got 1512 overturned, right? Obstruction of an official proceeding. So for lack of a better term, Ed Martin knows where a lot of the bodies are buried, and now Ed Martin's going to be digging some holes and checking out the grave sites, so to speak. All right. Judge Jeanine Pirro, and the left is probably going, another Fox News host. Judge Jeanine Pirro. Judge Jeanine Pirro is being tapped as the new interim U.S. attorney for Washington, D.C. Now, do I want Judge Jeanine to get that role over Ed Martin? I don't. But the process played out. It didn't shake out that way. I'd rather Judge Jeanine serve as the interim U.S. attorney or potentially permanent U.S. attorney in D.C. than somebody who Judge Boasberg gets to pick. And it's no shot at Judge Jeanine. I just am a very big fan of Ed Martin, and I think he would have done the best job. But now what'll happen is you'll have Ed Martin investigating the weaponization of government. He's no longer going to be the prosecutor. But if Judge Jeanine is the U.S. attorney out of the District of Columbia, she will be the prosecutor. So he'll gather the evidence, do the investigations, and then pass it on to Judge Jeanine, who can then prosecute those cases. Now, I know a lot of people have questions. Is she the one you really want prosecuting? You know, sometimes on Fox, she puts on a show. Hopefully, she's a little less demonstrative in the courtroom. But again, I'd rather have her than somebody picked by Judge Boasberg, right? 10 times out of 10. Now, the silver lining of the Ed Martin situation is that, yes, he is going to be in that new role, in his wheelhouse, so to speak, in a place that he will be able to succeed, in a position that he'll be able to succeed, a position he knows well, or investigating a subject matter that he knows well. But the other silver lining is the fact that, you know what, the voters of North Carolina, and it's not just North Carolina, but the voters, Republican voters across the country just got smacked in the face with the fact that the majority of Congress and, the House and Senate, both chambers of Congress, they're not working for you. Yesterday, the House of Representatives passed the Gulf of America bill, which I get it. It had to be passed. The name change had to be codified for technical reasons to increase oil drilling and production. I get it. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it, okay? I don't want anyone to think that I think they shouldn't have done it. I want you to understand, though, that I feel like right now in the House of Representatives and the Senate, I feel like we're being toyed with. I feel like we're being led on, and I feel like we're being toyed with. I do, and it's unfortunate. I want to have faith that these guys understand what's at stake here. I just don't think they care. Another 4-day weekend is coming for the House of Representatives. I don't know how many more of those they need. You have the House prioritizing. Again, I'm not saying they shouldn't have done this, but, when you're spending all of your time in the House and Senate naming bodies of water and not, instead, why did it take this long to get this Gulf of America bill passed if it was so easy to do? Did you just pass this bill because, you're so not productive? Did you just do this so that you could teach yourselves how to pass legislation again? Why couldn't this have been done weeks ago? Why are we taking our sweet effing time with the big, beautiful bill? Which, by the way, in its current form in the House is not going to pass. The entire New York delegation, almost the entire New York delegation, Stefanik, actually, I think it is the entire New York delegation, Stefanik, Lawler, LaLota, Garbarino, I think that's it for now. I know it's those four at least. They do not want to pass the big, beautiful bill because it caps state and local tax deductions at $30,000. And they don't want there to be a cap that low. And without those people, the bill doesn't pass. But we're caught up naming bodies of water in the House. I feel like we're being toyed with. I hope I'm wrong. Don't get me wrong, something will pass. But something will be wrong with it. And I told you, there'll be little things that are going to be wrong with it. It's not going to be a perfect bill. But are we going to see that $1.5 trillion in cuts? Are we going to see the DOGE cuts, the suggestions that the Department of Government Efficiency made? Are we going to see specific elements of the Trump agenda that we really want passed? Are we going to see that codified? Is it going to be some sort of lukewarm compromise? I don't know. But I feel like we're being toyed with by our members of Congress in the House and Senate. And I think the Ed Martin failed nomination, I think it kind of proves that we have a lot of self-serving public servants that we need to do something about. And the only way to do something about it is to stay involved all year long. I know it's hard. I know it burns you out. I know it's not easy. I know that this isn't, this isn't what everyone wants to necessarily be doing. I like it. I'm fascinated by it, but I can't speak for everybody. I know life gets in the way. The summer comes around. We want a little bit of time off. Unfortunately, there's no way. There is no way to drain the swamp if we're not all there, all hands on deck, constantly making ourselves involved and immersing ourselves in the process. There's just no way to do it without constant participation. So if we continue down the road of behaving the way we've behaved up until this point, what's going to happen? More of the same, right? If we change our behavior, we could change our results. We could change the outcomes. It's not going to be a 100% success rate. Bad ones are going to leak through. You're not going to elect MAGA across the board. Some of our preferred candidates may have to run in a primary 3 or 4 times before they win. That's the level of commitment that we're going to need to show and embrace going forward if we actually want the change that we say we want. I think we can do it. I believe that we can do it. I believe it wholeheartedly. Look, don't get me wrong. I think Wisconsin and the Supreme Court, and they are already, Mark Elias is already in Wisconsin redrawing those congressional maps. We said that was going to happen. I think Wisconsin, we deserve a lot of the blame. I know there's people, this was rigged. Every time we lose, it was rigged. We couldn't help it. No. There are some things we could do and we could win. And sometimes we have to look in the mirror and say, yes, there was fraud, but we could have outvoted it. We just didn't. Okay, there are some situations where we can look at it and take the majority of the blame. And Wisconsin, I believe, is one of those things, one of those situations. The Ed Martin confirmation, I do not believe, is one of those situations. We did what we could. We made it clear for a while, for a very long time, that we wanted him confirmed as the permanent U.S. attorney. We saw when Adam Schiff said he's putting an indefinite hold, what was at stake. Thom Tillis put himself before you and before the American people. And there's no level of public pressure could change that. The only way to change that is to change the name of the man who occupies that office. That is your job, North Carolina. That is our job to see it through. All right, quick break. I see a bunch of birthdays in the chat, so I'm going to get to that in a second. Quick break. Let's get to a word from our friends over at the LFA TV Store. LFATV.us. Then we can laugh at Biden for a little bit. Got a couple clips from the zoo. Moo, right? The zoo. We'll get to that in a minute as well. Before we do that, let's talk about the LFA TV Store. LFATV.us. LFATV.us. The best online MAGA merch store in the game. LFATV.us. It is right there on your screen. Folks, click on that LFA TV Store tab when you go to the website at LFATV.us, right? Hit the Visit the Store button over on the right-hand side. You will see everything that there is to offer at the LFA TV Store, like the I Don't Really Care Margaret shirt. Gotta love it. This Made America Great Again shirt to me would be it's a great gift for you. B, a great gag gift for maybe one of those liberals. I just recorded a custom voice message last night, by the way, for a Camala voter, and I think it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Lives out in California. He's turning like 76 or something. You know, it seems like it'll be a fun one. I hope to hear feedback about that one. You got the Trump tumblers, right? The Trump Vance flags, the keychains, Rise Up coffee, Some winter hats if it's still cold where you're at. It's been a little chilly overnight, which I like because it's good sleeping weather. Beach towels, beach season's coming up. Don't go to the beach on days your local Republican Party meets, please. Choose another day. It's once a month. You got, tank tops and sweatpants and ball caps, all sorts of good stuff here at the LFA TV Store, lfatv.us, lfatv.us, or jeremyherrell.com/store. All right. So there's a bunch of goings on in the chat. Have you been keeping track of what's going on out there? Yesterday was Young Nod Lil Wink, right? Lil Wink, Young Nod, the daughter of Winky.
Today it's Emerald and Dylan.
Today we have Emerald Sonic's birthday, who we love. She's a riot in the chat. Amazing. Always pushing for folks to hit the thumbs up button, which, we got to do better. We got to do better, right? We're getting there, but we got to do better. There's, over 2,000 people watching the show right now. So if you look, here's,
Wait, stay focused.
there's over 3,000. Hold on. There's over 3,000. And here's what I think is going on, right?
What?
I don't think we're dealing with laziness. I think it's time to stop being so hard on the people. Watch this. I think we have people who love this show. There's 3,100 people who love watching what they're seeing right now. They love it. Okay. I think what's going on is a lot of people don't have Rumble accounts. Okay. So what we need you to do to the 3,100, if you don't have a Rumble account, look, it's very, very simple. Rumble is a free speech platform. The best way to support Rumble is to make an account, which is completely free. You can, if you have a Gmail, you already essentially have a Rumble account, right? You could sign up with your Gmail account in 2 seconds. Then we could see you in the live chat, right? Then we could talk to you. We can have fun, okay? We can have fun with you in the live chat. When you call in on Fridays, you can say, hey, it's da-da-da-da in the live chat, and I just made a Rumble account. I want to hear from you. Please make a Rumble account. It's completely free, and it helps us. It helps us show Rumble that we're bringing new life. We're bringing new blood in, right? So make a Rumble account. Then you can hit the thumbs up button. That's why I think we're seeing so many people watching, but not a lot. We also have another birthday. Dylan, right? 21. The big 2-1 for Dylan Filion of Iowa, right? 21. So I have sources that say that Dylan's going to be having a few drinks tonight. So Dylan, all I'm going to tell you is be responsible, Don't go too crazy. Because the headache you're going to get in the morning. Oh, boy. You don't want that. So we have Dylan, 21, Emerald's birthday, Lil Wink, Young Nod's birthday. Monday is Fonda's birthday, so we have to remember to do a fresh one on Monday. And is there an anniversary I see in the chat?
Heather's anniversary is Monday.
Heather's anniversary is also Monday. So listen, a big, beautiful happy birthday and a happy anniversary to everybody, because now what we've got going on, there's a lot going on at once, and we love everybody. Dylan, drink responsibly. Young Nod, happy birthday. Emerald, happy birthday. Fonda on Monday, happy birthday. If we forget, happy anniversary to Heather Osborne on Monday as well. All right, let's laugh. Who wants to laugh at Crooked Joe? First, let's laugh at Buttigieg. Do you see the Trump? This clip has been all over the place. Played it on Kell and Company this morning. It's Trump and Buttigieg.
Oh, Mr. Nod is next Friday.
And Mr. Nod is next Friday.
Wow.
So if the child is Young Nod.
He's Mr. Nod.
He's Mr. Nod.
Winky is.
We don't want to call her Old Nod.
She would be Miss Nod.
Mrs. Nod.
Mrs. Nod.
Yes. Well, she's right.
She's
Right.
Winky.
She's Winky. Right. All right. So here's Trump talking about Pete Buttigieg and this whole. It's funny. He takes a shot at him for riding his bike to work. Boot, edge, right? Boot, edge. It's boot and then edge and edge. Watch this.
Four of them that do it. And when they took over, Buttigieg, who has no clue, he drives to work on his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship. But he didn't have a clue. This guy didn't have a clue. And he's actually a contender for president. Between him and Crockett, you can have that party. But he didn't know what he was doing. And
he's obviously talking about Pete Buttigieg and the fact that he was the transportation secretary and had no clue what he was doing. It was he botched the last name on purpose. Buttigieg. I can't even do it wrong. Buttigieg is what he said. You have Buttigieg.
Four of them that do it. And when they took over, Buttigieg.
Buttigieg. Instead of boot edge, he said booted edge. So he gets it wrong all the time. It's so funny. And you know, I used to call him the booty judge. A friend of mine I used to work with, his mom called him booty gag. I was like, all right. Yeah. Boot edge. I love that one clip of Trump. He goes, boot edge. It's unpronounceable. Nobody knows how to say it. Boot edge, like the edge of a building. It's so funny. Joe Biden was on The View. Not a good place for Biden or, as it turned out, members of his administration to be. Right? That's where Kamala Harris said, well, there is not a thing that comes to mind when they asked her what she would do different than Joe Biden. Here's Biden on The View yesterday. They're talking about his cognitive decline. They're talking about these new books that are coming out, talking about how Trump won. Take a look. This is the first clip that I have of him on The View.
And it was like 2016 all over again. Yeah. So why do you think the vice president lost, and were you surprised?
I wasn't surprised, not because I didn't think the vice president was the most qualified person to be president. She is. She's qualified to be president of the United States of America. Right. But I was surprised. I wasn't surprised because they went the route of the sexist route, the whole route. I mean, this is a woman. She's this. She's that. I mean, it really. I've never seen quite as successful and a consistent campaign undercutting the notion that a woman couldn't lead the country and a woman. So
it's about a woman of color. It's a sexism thing. It's a racism thing. It can't just be that she's a just awful candidate. Just awful candidate, right? I mean, they had some momentum. Okay, they had a little more energy when she was the one. She was just bad, right? I mean, we have a prop named after her, the word salad fork. Every time she ate. Every time she spoke, we ate. You know, the Doritos, the cackling, the swaying, you know, she was just awful. The accent, 32 days. Teleprompter goes off. She doesn't know what to do. She was a bad candidate. Has nothing to do with the fact that she was a woman. Has nothing to do with the fact that she was a woman, quote unquote, of color. She was a bad candidate. Here's Biden on The View again, talking about, you know, does he take responsibility for Trump winning?
When you announced that you wouldn't be seeking re-election, only 28% of the country thought that the country was on the right track. Now, you are understandably very proud of many achievements in your administration. But do you take any responsibility for not hearing the concerns of voters on the border security or cost of living sooner? And do you take any responsibility for Trump's reelection?
Yes, I do, because, look, I was in charge and he won. So, you know, I take responsibility, number one. But number two, you know, you remember we put together a commission leading with one of the most conservative members of the United States Senate from Oklahoma running it. We came up with a significant means by which we could deal with the border. What did Trump do? He got on the telephone and he called Republicans, do not support it. It's legal, it'll work, it'll make Biden look good, don't do it. And they backed off.
So this is that narrative about the border bill, right? That's stupid. I hate this narrative. And what he is saying is categorically false. Did you hear the cows mooing along with him? Oh, wow. As they grazed. I can't believe they didn't pass the border bill. Did you hear them in the background? Oh, that's so sad. We didn't need the border bill to fix the border. We proved that. You could have fixed the border if you wanted to. Every single person on the set of that show. I mean, look, they didn't have any credibility to begin with, but we have seen it in real time. Look, if the border was still a complete and total mess, if hundreds of thousands of illegals were still coming into the country, I would say, you know what? Maybe we do need something new down on the border. Maybe. We have seen a 97+% drop in illegal immigration since January 20th, 2025. As Donald Trump says, all we really needed was a new president. All Joe Biden needed to do was try. The fact that he's still bitter and sour grapes about the border bill, that's the narrative that he's going to take with him. It's been proven wrong already. On day one, Donald Trump said, that's it. We're enforcing the laws that we already have. There has not been a single piece of new legislation that has been passed with regards to border security. Not a single piece of new legislation. And border crossings on both borders, the northern and southern border, are down by over 97%. So everything that Joe Biden said in that clip on The View is bullcrap. It is garbage. It's malarkey, man. Cut it out. It's not a joke. It's been proven. Look, this is why I can't stand the cast of that show. We call them the bickering bovine for a reason. They're about as intelligent as a herd of cattle. They go where they're told to go. And I'm sorry to those of you who have cattle that are smarter than Joy Behar. Do you hear them, though, as he goes, they picked up the phone, and he said, don't pass the bill, and they backed off. And they're in there going, oh, wow, how could he do that? Because you didn't need the border bill. That's the point. You didn't need it. Donald Trump proved you didn't need it. The border, look, it's not perfect. And I don't think we've reached a level of fixed that we want. There's still been a decent number of illegals who have come across at 22,000 over the course of the last 3 months. Not per month, though. You've gone from like 300,000 to like 20,000. Catch and release is over. You could have done it. You didn't want to. All right. Finally, I'm going to get into this trade deal. Happened yesterday. While we were on, we held the beginning of that press conference. The UK and the United States have signed a trade deal. Donald Trump put out a little graphic yesterday about that trade deal. Donald Trump put out a little graphic about it. I'm going to see if I could pull that up for you. But we will be keeping the 10% baseline tariff in place against the United Kingdom, which kind of sheds some light on how the other trade deals look or will look. If we can keep a baseline tariff of 10% on these other countries, watch, look at this. Here's the graphic I'm talking about. Wait, here we go. There's the graphic I'm talking about right there. So we're getting $5 billion in new market access to the UK with our exports. We're raising $6 billion in external revenue now through the tariffs as a part of this new trade deal. UK had tariffs of 5.1% on U.S. products, going down to just about 2%. And the United States was tariffing the UK at around 3.5%. We're bumping that up to 10%. If this is the way the deals look, with the other countries, there's a good chance that the revenue generated from tariffs could offset the income tax for earners under $150,000, $200,000. And folks, again, if that is Trump's goal, I want to see it through. I want to try and implement that to the best of our ability. Because rather than being taxed on every dollar that you make outside of the standard deduction, you're only going to be paying the quote-unquote tax, the increased price due to tariffs, A, if you're buying products that aren't American-made, B, if you're buying. When you're not buying, at least your money that's coming in isn't being taxed, and that's the point. All right, one more thing here, and then we will get to your calls. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem tells Democrats that there is no scenario where Kilmar, Abrego, Garcia returns to the United States. Good. After all the evidence that has come out over the last month, there is no reason why that guy should come back into the United States. But I want to play for you a clip, a little spat, a little verbal back and forth that Senator Van Hollen, as you know, the infamous senator, went down to El Salvador sipping on margaritas with Kilmar, Abrego, Garcia. This is an exchange that he had with Kristi Noem yesterday. Watch this.
Despite what you just said, the federal district court, whose judge is hearing this case right now, said, and I'm quoting, that the administration has provided no evidence linking Abrego Garcia to MS-13 or any other terrorist activity. I'm not vouching for the man. I'm vouching for his due process rights.
Sir. You've
No,
been vouching
no,
for
Madam
him.
Secretary, with
I would
respect.
suggest that you defend and
Madam,
stand alongside the victims of illegal crime.
This is political
in this country,
rhetoric.
the citizens who live here and
Do
are
you-
United States Americans. I would suggest you advocate for them as hard
Madam
as you do
Secretary,
for foreign terrorists.
I know you're doing a political speech
No,
here.
I'm
I
not,
get it.
sir.
I'm
Political-
asking questions of law. No, you're just spewing
I
rhetoric.
truly believe this. I
Well, you're
truly believe
spewing
this
rhetoric.
as an
Let
American.
me ask you this.
She says that you're vouching. He goes, I'm not vouching for him. You are. You went down to meet with him. When's the last time you met with one of your constituents over something that bothered them? Again, that guy is a self-serving public servant. We've run video. We've run montages of interviews, on the street interviews, of people in Maryland saying, we don't want this guy back. But you know who does? Senator Chris Van Hollen. He wants Kilmar, Abrego, Garcia back. And what he wants matters more than what you want. Self-serving public servants. If it sounds like an oxymoron, it is. Self-serving public servants put the moron in oxymoron. And there is no bigger moron over the last month in the Senate with the Democrats than Van Hollen, with the Republicans and Thom Tillis. Self-serving public servants. MS-13. All right. Let's take a quick break and then we'll get to your call. 631-527-4545. I'm going to throw this on the screen for you right now so you can start the calls. This way, once we're done talking about our friends over at Armra Colostrum, we'll be able to pick up a call right away. So start calling in right now. 631-527-4545. Let me tell you about our friends over at Armra Colostrum. That's tryarmor.com/LFA TV. Folks, you know, I'm always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity, my gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and enhance my skin and hair radiance. This is Armra Colostrum, and it can do all that and more for you. Colostrum is the first nutrition that we receive in life and contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. It can help your hair grow back, right? You can reactivate hair growth. It can help your skin glow. It can fortify your gut health and ignite your metabolism by combating bloating, right? You can feel lighter. Probiotics. Everyone talks about probiotics. They're touted as this one-size-fits-all gut health solution, but they only address one part of the four-part gut wall. Most of the products are dead by the time they reach your gut anyway, so they don't even work. Right? But Armra Colostrum naturally fortifies your entire gut wall system. It optimizes your microbiome and strengthens the gut wall architecture, which guards against irritants that can trigger symptoms like bloating and constipation. Nobody wants to be bloated. It's horrible. Look, go to tryarmor.com/LFATV and you can get 15% off of your first order. That's tryarmra.com/LFATV. Tryarmor.com/LFATV. Lima Foxtrot Alpha Tango Victor. Tryarmor.com/LFATV for 15% off of your first order. All right, let's go. This is executed perfectly. Oh, and then it went away. Keep those calls coming. I saw them coming through. I was trying to pick one up. It didn't allow me to pick it up. That's 631-527-4545. 631-527-4545. Let me refresh the page here as I see a bunch of people trying to call, but I'm not getting the ability to answer that call. Here we go. This would be, I believe, our friend. We know who this is. The person who is said to have a direct line into the show, our friend Heather from Kansas City. What's up, Heather?
Yes, this is Camala. And
here she is.
Offended that you were talking to me about me, and I'm making a comeback and bringing joy to everybody. No. Howdy, how are you all doing?
We're good. How are you doing? What's happening?
Not much. Thank you for the anniversary wishes
Yes.
on Monday.
Happy
13
early
years now.
anniversary to you. Yes.
Yes, 13 years. I was talking to my husband because I got my paycheck and I've been working all this overtime, and I'm like, where is the no taxes on overtime thing? Because I'm
Not
like,
yet.
it it put me in a higher tax bracket. I'm like, I didn't put that on there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. You know what? Now that's supposed to be a part of the big beautiful bill, and I hope it is, right?
Yeah,
because I believe
I
people
do
who's
too.
working overtime you shouldn't work against you. It should not work against you.
No, and it's like, well, let's get some work done here, people. And then I was going to say something else on that, but that really bothered me. I was thinking of you yesterday when they picked that Pope, the American Pope. Like, Shaw needs to do a Trump.
I was thinking about doing one. I was thinking about doing one about how it was rigged and it should have been Trump, but
Yeah.
I was just like I was kicking the idea around. I was kicking it around.
Yeah. And I don't know if you saw the view part where Joe grabbed Joy's hand and was
I
just
did not
holding
see
on
that part.
to it. I'm like,
No.
why is he
I
just
saw the
holding
clip
her
of
hand?
Jill. I saw the clip of Jill Biden kind of jumping in for Joe
Yeah.
because he was kind of
Yeah.
like debate mode. So,
Yeah,
but I did not see him grab Joy's hand. No.
He did at the beginning. He was just grabbing onto it and holding it. I'm like, well, I'd be like, please don't touch me.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. My gosh. Well, at least
They
maybe
just-
she got
they
sniffed in a
just-
commercial break. Who knows?
I don't know. They just fawned all over him. Like, oh my gosh, we love you. I'm like, oh my gosh, just stop. Anyway, but I won't keep you from your calls. But you guys have a good weekend and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
All right. Thank you very much, Heather. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms as well, and happy anniversary to you and your husband. Thank you. All right. 631-527-4545. Keep those calls coming in. I see a bunch of them lighting up here, just waiting to pick one up. So keep them coming. 631, here's another one. I know who this is. Hopefully this connects because I want this to connect. I know exactly who this is. This is Mr. 21, Dylan Filion of Iowa. What's up, Mr. 21? Happy birthday.
Oh, well, thank you, Sean, and it's great to be on here, and I appreciate the birthday wish. I got a lot of birthday wishes to respond to today on Facebook and other places, but it's been a very good morning so far. I've gone out to eat with my dad, and it's great. So my family's actually been going out other places just for trying to make money because we got a few trips planned. But it's been going very well here, just working hard, obviously staying engaged.
Yep.
And I have a GOP event in my county coming up here in about a week. It's our average dinner. We do it once a month. So, everything's been good here. But Sean, I wanted to touch on the topic of rhino hunting because.
Yes.
I mean, Sean, how long have we been talking about we need to participate in these primaries, and usually Republicans don't participate in the primaries because it's summer and it's spring and blah blah blah. We have vacation, which Sean, by the way, then we end up with people like Thom Tillis. So
right.
It's just I asked the question of how long is this repetitive cycle going to continue until the voters actually start to take this seriously. Not to say that the LFA TV doesn't take it seriously, because a lot of the people in the chat are deeply involved.
Absolutely.
I would guess, and
yes,
love to vote and get involved. So, I just asked the question of how long is this repetitive process going to be going on until our country actually wakes up, because our country's on its last legs here, and Trump only has 4 years. And obviously we have some great candidates for president, but the president can't be doing everything. It's a constitutional republic. So, I mean, what do you think of that? And I'm glad that you touched on that.
Well, like I said,
in the show.
look, what I think is, I think you're 100% right in that we do need to stay engaged. Obviously, that's my biggest thing, and we've got to make sure that we're serious. We got to find candidates that are going to win. We got to find candidates that are going to work hard, and some folks will look at it and say, what can we do? Well, just look at West Virginia. Look at Chris Rosen. He's the chairman of the Energy Committee in that state Senate. So,
100%.
This is a guy, I think, maybe we'll have him back on soon to talk about how he did it. And I know you and I are going to talk soon as well. And
yep.
Got to get people involved. So thank you, Dylan. You have a happy birthday, and don't go too crazy tonight.
Thank you, Sean. I won't. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Drink a bottle of water before bed. Dylan Filion of Iowa, obviously. All right, 631-527-4545. I can't make any calls out It's a first come, first served. Now, I think this is the gentleman who wanted to get through anyway. I believe that this is our good friend, the targeted Kelly Walker.
Hey.
Kelly, how's it going?
Good. I should mute my computer, huh?
Yeah, you go. You're all set. What's up? You said you got the goods on. You got the goods on something. I'm excited.
Yeah. I have huge updates about Ed Martin and some information about Mike Lindell taking on Smart Tech and Dominion. And
okay.
Exciting stuff.
Very good. Well, let's go on the Ed Martin front. I got about a minute to go, and then we have to run because Jeremy's coming up. But tell me what you got on Ed Martin. What are you excited about this new appointment? I think you should be, right? Because it's weaponization.
I'm very excited. Representative Eli Crane has been working hard on it. Andy Ogles has been working hard on it. I'm flying up to D.C. to go on NTD's Capitol Report.
Awesome.
And yeah. How are you talking on the computer and to me at the same time? Are we talking live?
I'm not exactly sure what's happening. My phone is through a website, and I go through the microphone. It routes it in, and then it comes out your phone. So there's some sort of sorcery going on, but I think that's how it's happening. I'm not sure.
Okay. And so I'm also in touch with Ed Martin directly. I've been talking to him through our friend Alex Newman. So Alex is going to call me today, and we're going to get linked up. And I definitely see verbiage that I've used with these members of Congress that's in the president's verbiage about Ed Martin's new appointment.
Good.
And Eli Crane's team has been talking with the president's team. So I feel very encouraged by this news.
All right. Well, I'm happy to hear that you're happy because we know you're at the front lines of making things right for these targeted parents, and we commend your work, Freedom Talk Magazine, and everything that you've been doing since the government threw their weight at you, and you stood your ground. So keep standing that ground, keep working hard, and we will do what we can on our end, of course, to try and make sure that you accomplish those goals.
Absolutely. Thanks for the work you do, Sean. You guys are fantastic.
Thank you, Kelly. You have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, the great Kelly Walker giving us a call, and excited about Ed Martin's new appointment, excited about Ed Martin's new role. That's going to do it for our call segment today. That's going to do it for our show today. Jeremy Harrell coming up next with 3 hours because there is a press briefing at 1 o'clock, and he will be carrying that all the way through. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here, rumble.com/LFA TV, rumble.com/LFA TV, also on X. No matter where you're watching from, hit that thumbs up button. If it's a like button, if it's a repost button, let us know where you're watching from in the comments. Drop a comment underneath. Love to see all the states that we're hitting. And if you're from North Carolina, get ready to find somebody to primary and remove Thom Tillis. As President Trump would say, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never, ever surrender. And if all else fails, we will just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation. Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your weekend, a great rest of your Friday. We're back Monday, same time, same place, rumble.com/LFA TV, and over on X as well, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, have a great rest of your weekend. In the words of John Fetterman, good night, everybody. Bang, gavel. See you next week. Jeremy Harrell coming up next.